So for my next automotive project, I'm going to be doing the vehicle of the best Texas Ranger of all time. Well, sorry, Nolan, it's not you. Yes, you are the best Texas Rangers baseball player of all time. We're talking about lawmen. Here we go. The best Texas Ranger of all time of law enforcement rangers. You may think that that's Walker, and yeah, the two look a whole lot alike, but actually this is J.J. McQuaid. A lot of people call him a lone wolf. There are plenty of YouTube channels with great modelers who have great production skills. This is not one of them. Welcome to Cable's Creations. Well, I'm back at Yankee Station for another week of modeling mayhem, and actually not necessarily doing that much, just today I'm actually got the workbench largely filled with the 3D printer. I was redoing one of the cookie cutters for my mother-in-law. Figured out that I printed the other one just as it came from the website I found it on, and it worked better upside down. But I have been doing just a little bit of model related stuff. So here are the two prints of the brush guard. Kind of sensed something was off with this one once I got it off of the printer. That when it hit me that it was way too wide. I guess I built half of it, or I built the whole thing, then I was trying to mirror this part on the very end cap, and I was having trouble doing it with the program, so I had like cut the crossbars in half and then was just mirroring the whole thing. But I guess it had reverted to the total length and ended up doubling it. And so that's the size I need. And I kind of figured out that matches up pretty doggone well. Yep. Outsides cover up those areas where I sanded things off of that. So that came out just the way I wanted it. And here is something I packaged up for one of the glue troopers that was asking about some parts on the Facebook Glue Troopers trading post. It's still there. If you ask for something that I have in my spares box, I'm more than happy to send it to you. I had also put up a whole bunch of leftover decals, and there's a high likelihood that there will be some spare Top Gun related decals when I'm done with all of my Top Gun projects. So if you're looking for a part, I'm sure that there's a pretty good chance that I or one of the other glue troopers will happen to have one. Well, it put some more putty in to get rid of that last little bit of a seam there, and similarly got this sanded, so getting ready to reprimer, see just how they do. what they look like with primer on them. Got a feeling that's going to look much better here, since that's on the interior. Not going to be quite as worried about it. So I've got this, I set this up as a template for drilling holes for it to go in. And then I started thinking, you know, I could 3D print a template to go on that piece of square styrene. There we go. 3D print something to be a square, it'll be a template for drilling holes straight on that. Then I thought, hey, if I'm going to go to that much trouble to design something for 3D printing, I might as well just 3D print the whole thing. So those are some of the pieces of what's going to go on it. And I got my micrometers for measuring things. All right, after primer and sanding, it really shows up where that thing used to be. Oh, and got a few drips runs there, so yep, I'm gonna have to sand on that a little more. But I think with sanding, primering, filling, sanding, primer, fill, got this done over and over. There was also another sink mark over there in that corner, but I think I've gotten it out now. Well, a little bit of work and then some primer. So ended up getting a little creative. So the little ejector, not ejector, the alignment pins on the bottom of this wouldn't really fit the chassis. So I glued in some, or drilled out some holes and put in these lead wires. And I'm going to use those to kind of help hold the chassis in place while glue sets. Actually, those wires kind of go in behind the seats. Like there you can see one, there you can see another. So I'll be mating up the chassis, gluing JJ in place, and then laying down some more primer. Hopefully this will be my last coat of primer on this. Then I can start getting into color painting, and then maybe even start getting into wiring things up. Actually, got to design and 3D print part for the light bar first, or at least before I start attaching those things. Also going to have to look into creating windows on those two side windows, since like most kits doesn't come with one. Well, that is looking much better. Can really hardly tell where the glass was. Not quite perfect, but pretty doggone good. And that's also going to get covered up with the light bar. And on the inside, that's looking pretty good, particularly as we'd be looking at it like that. I don't think it's necessarily gonna show up that much, and in fact, what we're seeing from the inside, I think that's even further back. What was looking a little off is actually more in that area. Not even that area. I think I've got it sanded down enough where that you can't really see that. What was catching the eye was more there where you can see some of those sanding marks. So I might just work on that a little more. I also figured out that the brush guard I made, well, when I mocked it up with the bumper and the grill, looks like it needs to come up a little higher. And just as I was starting to think about kind of blessing in disguise, as I was starting to think about printing it again, as well as printing off all the various fog lights and spotlights, and then reprinting it to have a way to add those on, discovered, oh, it doesn't really come up as high as I wanted. So would be probably wanting to reprint it again anyway. It's kind of nice when things work out like that. Well, that's pretty much all I have to talk about this week. So once again, showing you mine to hopefully make you feel better about yours.